Okay, is it recording? Yes, sir. Hello, everybody. It's Slumpy Snails. Welcome back to a CD update. Another CD update. I think this is our fifth one. Shit, I got that many CDs. It's almost coming close to my record update. What do we have? Like 8 record updates now? We got 5 CD updates. They're coming pretty close. Cassettes have been in the dust for like a long time. I don't remember the last time I collected a cassette. But many things are different with the episode. Um, I forgot my aux cable for my headphones, and so I'm experiencing a horrible delay in the headphones. So sorry if I'm talking weird. I'm hearing myself like 1 second in the past, and it's fucking with my equilibrium. Also, we had a cozy chair last episode. Now it's just this cold steel chair or something. Many different things this episode, but we keep it moving on. Anyways, I'm just gonna get into it because these take a long time to do, and the faster we start, the sooner we end. And I'm gonna start off something very, very close to me, very personal to me, and these first 5 CDs are by Ka. I'm gonna do them with the order they came out with, but first of all, I wanna dedicate this video to Ka. Say rest in peace to the late, great musician of our times, poet of our times, philosopher of our times. Ka means so much to me, and I've always loved his poetry. I've always loved his music. I've always loved his messaging, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was only 1 year ago when he passed away, and it was just such a devastating blow to the whole community. And he's made so much great music. He's done such a big impact in the whole genre, and the story how I got these CDs were a couple months ago. I think this summer they were selling these CDs. Now I don't know if they were represses or the stock that they had that they never sold, but they were selling as CDs, and I had to get like as much as I could because his stock is very rare. And if you look on Discogs, like if you were to buy any of his shit, it's like 200, and it's only ramped up since he passed away, which is messed up. But I got as much as I could, and I got my favorite albums by him. First, we got Grief Pedigree. I have so many memories of this album. So, this is my favorite Cut album. I love Grief Pedigree. The instrumentals on here are amazing. His rapping is amazing. And if you want to get in the car, start off with Grief Pedigree. Then we go into his classic album, Arnie Killed the Samurai. This is when is like he really honed in his craft and really honed in his style. His most famous album, and it's just there's a reason why for that because he just excelled. He spent so long studying for this album, spent so long, making this album, and to create one of the most influential hip hop records of all time. I know Ka doesn't get much in like publicity, but trust everyone who listened to this album started to MC after him. Great record. If you haven't checked out Ka, definitely check this out after Grief Pedigree. Orpheus and the Sirens, one of his collab projects. Another great album, another great concept album. Ka is just great when it comes to philosophy. Ka is great when it comes to concepts. And this one does not fail to deliver. It's just another great album. The production on here is amazing. The production was done by somebody else, but they both come into one idea, and that idea succeeds and excels. Then we got Ka's 2020 album. This is his return solo album because I think he did that collab album, and then he came back after Anika the Samurai. He did that collab album. Then he came back with Descendants of Cain. This is kind of comeback era because before like he would release albums every now and then, but ever since the 2020s he would release like more albums more consistently. I think he released 4 albums in 2020 before unfortunately his passing. But Descendants of Cain was a great comeback album, and I remember when this came out. I remember all the buzz around it. This is when I started becoming a fan when this album came out, and I remember hearing this and it was like, wow, I've never heard music like this in my whole life. It took me a long time to understand it, but I always knew he was great. And the more older I get, the more I understand Ka's later work, and I really appreciative that he was ever alive, because that man is a saint. Then we have his last album that was released last year, And this is my favorite album. I don't know. Like I said, I love Grief Pedigree. This is like a very sharp second. This album is great. Another concept album dealing with religion, and I love it. Came out last year, and I'm just so happy that I got these CDs. I get really sad though that like one of the only reasons I was able to get these CDs was because of his passing, but I'm glad that I have them because Ka is like one of my biggest influences. Like I look to him for like anything, like advice or even like creative advice. And I hope he's seeing this. I don't know where he is, but I feel you. I feel your power every single day. Thank you. Up next, we got this latest album by my friend Dot Dev. Album released this year, and I love this album. I love my friend. They're great. I've done it for a long time. I love the evolution of the production of this album. I love the rapping on the album. This is when they reinvented themselves under a whole new name, and they almost weren't going to release it, but I'm glad they did under a new record label, and I love it. I love it so much. I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, I need it on CD. When are you selling it on CD? And finally, I got it. I've been listening to this album nonstop. I love the lyrical content of the album. I love the instrumentals on this album. It's a great album to listen to. And it has great repeat value. You can listen to it over and over again. Trust me. 2025 has been an amazing year for hip hop, and this is a part of that. And you can check this out. I'll put it in the description because I love my friend and I love their work. Then up next, we got a weird one. If you don't know the story, then it's gonna kind of be a little weird. But this is Prince Black album. Something happened to where he was making this before Love Sexy, and I forgot the story of this album, but it's like, so this album was supposed to release, but then he was like, oh, I don't want to release this anymore. But they're like, Prince, we already made all the CDs and we shipped it out to everyone. What the fuck do you mean you don't want to release this album anymore? And so limited copies were made of this album, but then I figured out later it did get eventual like pressing in 2020, in 1994. In 1994, I actually got an actual pressing, and I think this is a 1994 pressing. It's not an original, which if it was, it wouldn't have been $5, which I bought from Sibline. Shout out Sibline Records. You know I love Sibline Records. You can see a lot of Sibline CDs in here. Sibline Records is the GOAT. And I didn't see this in the funk or soul section. I saw this in the alternative rock section. So it was like, usually I don't look in there, but I looked in there just because I don't know why. I just want to look in there one day, and I found this, and I was like, oh, sick. I never listened to the Black Album by Prince. I'll give it a shot, because I already knew the story, but kind of knew the story about this album. I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now, but I did listen to this album for the first time with my dad in the car. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't even finish it. I'm sorry. It's alright. You know, there's probably a reason why Prince didn't want to release it, and I agree with him. But that doesn't detract from Prince's great artistry and how he's one of the best musicians that have ever lived. It's just that unfortunately, this is a weird album for him. For being Prince, which is a weird thing to say, because, you know, like, he's a weird musician. Of course this album's going to be weird, but this one's just like, for me, it's not for me, but I'm still glad to have it because of that history. And I would just like to apologize, because I don't mean weird in, like, an off-putting way. I mean weird, like, the best possible way, because, like, I'm a fucking weird person. And I like weird music. I fucking love Prince, and I love that he's weird and out the box and sort of counterculture to like everyone else around at the time. And so I'm saying weirdness in a good way, but I didn't mean it in a bad way. And if let me know if there's a better way to say it. But I wanted to just say that I like his countercultureness and his outside the box attitude. Now let's bring another Sibline CD. I can't remember if I got the same day or a different day. I don't know, I've been going to Sibline a lot, and the days melt to each other. But I got Too Short Cocktails. I love Too Short. I haven't listened to much of his albums. I actually bought this without even hearing the album beforehand, and it sounds great. And I really, Too Short is really cool. I only listened to a few albums by him. I haven't listened to this one yet, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, not much I can say about this record other than, like, I thought it was great getting into it for the first time. Yes, I still buy the records and listen to them for the first time, and I really agree with this purchase. I want to get into more Too Short. I'm trying to go and listen back to his older records, but I saw it at the store and I was like, oh, well, I went on a Too Short binge. I might as well buy it. You know, just what if I do like it? You know, that's all I can say about this one. Just trying to listen to more Too Short and trying to get into him because, you know, he's a legend. He's an OG. Respect your OGs. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. The rest of these CDs are actually from Sibline. That's why this CD episode came out faster than the other one, because I've been buying all my CDs at Sibline. I wake on the Sibline like every freaking day. Well, let's just bring them out already. Let me show you. This is a cool CD, Biz Markie. All samples are cleared. For some reason, it's probably from record label disputes, but Biz Markie's catalog isn't on streaming. Y'all know I have Bismarck's best record. The Bismarck is going off.
Bismarck is going off.
I don't have this one, and I haven't listened to it before I got it because his music is on the streaming, so I haven't had time to listen to it. But I listened to it, and it's actually, they got some hidden gems on here. I love a lot of these songs on here, and it's a very hidden gem of Biz Markie. Not all the songs hit on this one, but when they do, it's actually fucking nutty. Also another famous CD because of the famous legal dispute that was happening with Biz Markie and the record label. That's why the album is called All Samples Cleared, because this is when we're starting to see hip-hop in the legality landscape, and it's just cool to have it for that historical purpose, but it's a cool CD nonetheless. Has this cool iced out clown on it.
Insane Clown Posse could never.
Next are just like classic records that I've been needing forever. Funkadelics, Maggot Brain. I don't know how I haven't already had this before. Y'all know I love Parliament Funkadelic, and I've been trying to collect all of their albums, and I've been needing this one. Everybody needs this record. This is the record that started it all. The first track is like the most classic track of all time with that guitar solo. Like nothing can beat that. Funkadelic, Parliament Funkadelic, one of the greatest groups of all time, one of the most classic groups of all time, and it's one of the most classic records of all time. Oh, I'm saying classic again. Oh my goodness. Remember in the first speaking episodes? Anyways, I've been needing this for a minute, and I'm trying to collect all the Funkadelic records, trying to collect all the Parliament records. I just need them all, and I'm getting close. I'm getting fucking close, and I'm really glad I finally got this. I wish I would have gotten this on vinyl, but I'm glad I have it on CD for now. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll buy it on vinyl, but I'm not gonna lie. All the represses of this album are fucking hella expensive. So, also another classic funk record, we got James Brown, The Payback. Another record I've been needing for a minute. I think this is a double album, is it not? I can't remember, but this album is what started out. Like, this is like, I mean, James Brown has always been pivotal in the hip hop landscape, and this is one of the most classic James Brown records, especially for the title track, The Payback. You hear that on every single old hip hop song, and even new. This is a pivotal album to have. Once again, I'd prefer this to have it on vinyl, but the vinyl be hella expensive, and I'm just glad to have it. And I can still hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that matters. You know, all that matters is having it and be able to hear it. Because I have a really good I know I keep talking about every single time, but I have a really good 5-chamber CD player, and I fucking love it. That's why I've been taking more advantage of buying more CDs, because I'm like, I got a fucking gangster ass CD chamber, like 5 CD chamber CD player. Like, I gotta take fucking advantage of this and buy as many CDs as I can. Have fucking 5 CDs merry-go-round at all time. Fucking sucks hearing yourself in an echo. It's like, I know it's different. I'm trying not to pay attention to it, but I end up paying attention to it even more. It's a really weird feeling. I would not recommend it. Anyways, classic album. I need more James Brown. I think I only have 2 James Brown records, and I need more. I need more James Brown, but his records be kind of expensive. I mean, all represses be expensive nowadays, and so it sucks. I'm trying to hunt old James Brown. I know why it's hard to find old James Brown. I don't know why. But it happens, but I'm glad I have this classic record on CD. Then I believe the last of the Sibline CDs is Busta Rhymes, When Disaster Strikes. Classic CD. So hardcore, like Slick Jaw McGraw. Fuck what you heard, you ain't heard this before. So many classic tracks in this album. Put your hands on my eyes to see. Straight buck wild in a place to be. This is dangerous. You shouldn't be afraid of us. Too much of us is dangerous. Classic album. Busta Rhymes is the underrated GOAT. Dude, he inspired all of your favorite artists and doesn't get talked about enough. This is my only Busta Rhymes album that I have, and I need way more Busta Rhymes than this. I need his first album to coming. I just like Busta Rhymes, underrated GOAT, and he needs more eyes on him. And the new generation needs. Whoa, hold on. Ew, don't say that, Snip. You are the newest generation. So I'm not trying to sound like a young old head, like I don't know what the fuck, because I never fucking experienced that back in the day. I can't say that shit. But this fucking recording is chaotic. I'm sorry. It's me hearing that delay. It's fucking with my head. But Busta Rhymes, one of the most classic MCs of all time. I've been needing the coming for like ever. That's the first Busta Rhymes album I've heard. and one of my favorite albums of all time, hip hop records of all time, and this is another one of my favorites. But Busta Rhymes, underrated GOAT. Nobody talks about him as much, but he deserves to be heard, deserves to be accoladed. Needs his flowers, needs his roses, needs his achievements. Put him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know why you haven't already. Actually, no. Fuck the Rock and Roll. Did I say Rock and Hall? Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fuck all these fucking institutions. They don't fucking give a fuck about us. You, the listener, should listen to Busta Rhymes, because that means more than a fucking institution putting it in a fucking place where they'll be like, oh, well, we'll just put him in here just so they don't say shit. What rant am I going on today? I'm telling you, it's the fucking delay. Anyways, classic album, and I need more Busta Rhymes in my collections. My first Busta Rhymes, I need way more. And then next I got a collection. I got 2 Missy Elliott's. I got a mother named Missy. This is the first Missy Elliott album I ever listened to. It's what got me into her. Y'all saw this in the vlog. What was that? The most recent vlog that I did. So I don't know how much I talked about it, but I love this album. I can't stop the rain. It's my window. I can't stop the rain. Oh, and even Busta Rhymes. I forgot Busta Rhymes is even on this album doing the intros and outros. Like, dude, Busta Rhymes is the GOAT. Anyways, Missy Elliott's the GOAT. Two icons that don't get talked about as often. Missy Elliott and Busta Rhymes influenced the whole hip hop landscape. And I think Missy Elliott just got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. No, it wasn't this year. That was Salt-N-Pepa. Was it last year? I don't know. Like I said, fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why can't I say that? But Missy Elliott, one of my biggest influences, but also one of the world's biggest influences. Like, she was doing shit that nobody else was doing, inspiring a whole generation to act just like her. That's why she needs her flowers, and that she is the GOAT. And it all started with this album. And of course, this being her most famous album. I'll be honest with you. You know, I've listened to it over and over again. I'm not really the biggest fan of this album per se. I love this album, but I do prefer the Cookbook, or I prefer Missy So Addictive, or the first album. This isn't the first Missy album that I like to throw on, and that's a controversial, it's a hot take that I'm willing to take, but I still love this album. It's a Missy Elliott album, so it's gonna be a great album. But this is the most famous one. Maybe I need to listen to it more. But for now, my favorite is it's the Cookbook, Missy So Addictive, and Super Duper Fly. But let's just say it again. Missy Elliott is the GOAT. And if you don't know about her, you're missing out. Oh, I forgot, there is actually one sibling left. And it's in funny condition. It's the CD that's been sitting here the whole time. Why the fuck is the CD sitting here the whole time? It's the Carter 3. Snappy. Why the fuck is the Carter 3 out of its jewel case? It's all great. Everything's all... Ignore the Carter 3. Yeah, I had to take it out of the jewel case to fit one of my CDs in because I was missing a clear jewel case and I needed it. But, Lil Wayne, I love Lil Wayne. To be honest, the Carter 2 is better than the Carter 3, but... You can fight with me in the comments. Yeah, fight with me in the comments. I love the Carter 2, but the Carter 3 is... It's the Carter 3. Honestly, I'm bumping the Carter 3 any fucking day. It's I actually have a very funny oh my god. I have a very funny story to tell about the Carter 3. I remember one time I was high listening to the Carter 3, and I searched up DMT, or like it was like fractals, or like I'll pull up an image or a video of what I was looking at. I was high as hell listening to the Carter 3 while looking at this. And when it came to that one T-Pain song, I was just like, get that money and show it and flow it. That shit. Listen to the Carter 3 while looking at fractals while you're high as hell. It's a whole different experience. I don't know why I was doing that. I don't know why I was doing that, but I did. But Carter 3, there's a reason why you see this album cover everywhere. Lil Wayne is the GOAT. He's amazing. And I love Lil Wayne. Carter 2 is better. And I've been seeing they repressed it on vinyl. And I've been trying to get it, but that shit's expensive. But I do want the Carter 2. But it's great to have the Carter 3. It's just classic. You know, just classic. I mean, it has all the classic songs on it. I didn't even talk about the classic songs. But I don't even need to, because you already know the classic songs. Everybody knows all the fucking songs on Lil Wayne and Carter 3. I don't need to explain it to you. If I need to explain it to you, you're like 5 years old, and I'm not making this video for you. Whoa, Slampy, why'd you get so confrontational? I'm so sorry. Anyways, here we have our next collection. It's the girl, Janet Jackson. First we got Rhythm Nation. Fucking classic album. I know I keep saying classic. I know I say classic a lot. I know I'll throw it around a lot. But it's because I buy a lot of classic albums. But because this is a classic album. Come on. Even the title track, Rhythm Nation, is amazing. Escapades. Like, it's fucking Janet Jackson. Like, talking about people who've influenced the fucking world, it's fucking Janet Jackson. Don't fucking play with me. She is such an amazing talent, and I love Janet Jackson specifically. I love listening to her albums. She's really cool the way with that, like, the style that she, like, curates her albums to where, like, she'll do, like, 30-second skits in between it, and like the songs go into one of each other, is very different, and I believe it was very different at the time too. So she really like inspired like the curation of albums and like doing these small skits in between. I bet you it's influenced fucking everyone in the music industry today. Fuck, it's influenced me too. The way I do my skits on my album, how I make them really short because of Janet Jackson. It's fucking Janet Jackson. What else I need to say? She's the fucking GOAT. And I mean, where did I buy this? Oh, I bought this in Japan. Oh, did I buy it in Japan? No, I didn't buy it in Japan. I listened to it the first time in Japan. I bought Janet Jackson's, was it Control? Is that her name, Control?
Control.
Oh, I forgot that album. I bought this album in Japan. That's when I bought in Japan, but I listened to this one for the first time in Japan. And, I listened to it the first time on a bullet train, and it just, like, blew my fucking mind. And I'm really glad I bought this. I forget, yeah, I bought this in the J-Town. I bought it in the Tokyo Town. Little Tokyo video, so that's why I got confused. But then next we got Janet, her next album, and it's really a fight. It's like a fight between Janet and the Velvet Rope, which I got right here. We can talk about these both at the same time because I did get them at both at the same time. I mean, if you saw that video, I'll put it right here. I got these both at the same time. I still haven't tested them yet to see if they skip. Actually, the Janet Jackson record I just put down, it does skip on one of the last songs a little bit, but it's not bad. Only like one song skips out of all 20 songs. That's like great. I haven't tested these out yet, which I wish I would have before I got it, but it's all good. These battle between which one's my favorite Janet Jackson record. Sometimes it's the Velvet Rope, sometimes it's Janet, but both of these records have been very formative to me, and even more than the Rhythm Nation. But like, that's just my opinion. I love both these albums. They've both influenced me tremendously. I love the Q-Tip song on this one. I love the title track on this one.
But it's not the title track, it's That's the Way Love Goes. Sorry, the first track.
Anytime, any place. This is the hands that'll hold you.
This is the body that loves you.
Just a great fucking album. And then the Velvet Rope is even crazier. Like, she gets crazy on every single fucking record. Like, Janet's the fucking GOAT. You don't know what you have till it's gone. Yeah, Janet Jackson is fucking crazy. And she hops between genre, but she does it in the best way. She's like one of the first artists to like hop between different genres in the album. And she does it in the best way. Production's always fucking nutty. I think on this album, she has a fucking opera singing. It's like, whoa! Anyways, I know Michael Jackson gets all the praise.
Because he's
Janet
MJ.
Jackson is equally as talented, if not more talented. But hey, that's just my opinion. Janet Jackson carves her own niche and her own influences in this world without, even though Michael Jackson he's the fucking king, he's the GOAT, call Michael Jackson the GOAT. I mean, he is, but like, what? It kind of seems silly to call him the GOAT, because, like, duh, motherfucker. But Janet Jackson has her own space in pop culture that she has influenced and carved out for herself, and is very influential, and I love it in bits and pieces. Speaking of Michael Jackson, we got the Japanese version of Dangerous right here. No, I didn't get this in Japan. I got this at Rhino Records, you see in that video. And, Dangerous is kind of hit and miss with me. I guess that's with everybody, but I love the first half of Dangerous. The first half of Dangerous is fucking amazing. The only thing about Dangerous is that like when you get like to the bottom half, the bottom part of Dangerous, it's like it's not to drag on, but the first part of Dangerous is fucking crazy. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time? That music video is also fucking nutty too. I love In the Closet. She drives me wild. Of course, Black or White is amazing. It's just that like this album has hits and it has great songs, but also has meh songs. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I said in the previous video, I prefer listening to Janet Jackson albums, but I prefer listening to Michael Jackson's singles. And I think that's what really differentiates them to me, especially because I listen to albums more than I do singles, or I'd rather listen to an album than a single. And I think Michael Jackson's the king of pop, because whenever he would release an album, he would have 6 great singles, but sometimes the albums wouldn't always hold up. I can't say that about Off the Wall or Thriller. It kind of started happening with Bad, and it did happen with Thriller, and then Invincible, just like, yeah. That's the one thing I would say about Michael Jackson. Even though he's the GOAT, I gotta stop calling Michael Jackson the GOAT. I don't know, it just feels so fucking weird to me. But even though he's the greatest of all time, I would like to admit that. But it's fucking Michael Jackson, greatest of all fucking time. And so it doesn't, you know, it kind of cancels itself out because of everything else Michael has done. But that's just my opinion on Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson. Not trying to pin them against each other because they're both fucking great in their own fucking lane. But that's just my opinion. But I bought this anyways because I still love this album. I still love some of the tracks in the album, and it's cool that's Japanese too. And here we go in the last 2 CDs of this video. First, I got the same day as the Japanese Michael Jackson. It's a bootleg overly dedicated to Kendrick Lamar. Got it in the same video, and what was weird, because this is a bootleg, right, which I understand, but this is wrapped in plastic. How is something wrapped in plastic and made? This shit already skips. Like, there's that one song in here that skips. I'm like, this isn't even used. Like, it was wrapped in plastic, and it was, like, made to, like, ship. Like, how is it when I buy something new, the CD already skips? Like, I never had that. Maybe because it's a bootleg CD, and it makes sense for some reason, but, I didn't know you could buy a new CD and it already skips right away. I don't know how that even happened. But we can bring that up later. I love Kendrick Lamar. Y'all know Kendrick Lamar is like my GOAT. And underrated album. One of his last mixtapes. Second to last mixtape. And I love his mixtapes. One thing I really love is I really need Kendrick Lamar EP, and I need Section 80, and I feel like that would complete me for my Kendrick Lamar collection. But I love Kendrick. Kendrick's one of my biggest inspirations. I love listening to his old mixtapes to see him go up, even the ones that used the DJ mixtapes that I'll put up right here that have actually influenced me with my mixtape recently. But Kendrick Lamar been one of my biggest influences throughout my whole life, and the more older I get, the more I appreciate his early mixtapes, and Overly Dedicated is definitely a part of that. I bring out the last CD because I can't take this echo in my headphones anymore. It's like Alchemist's Life is Beautiful. It came out earlier this year. It came out in the winter. Well, it came out in January this year, or February, or in one of the cold months. And what a lot of people saying, hey, this album should have came out in the summer because just look at the album cover, and it does feel like a summer album, but I realize he's probably busy in the summer, so that's why it didn't get released in the summer, because he's been releasing albums left and right, The Alchemist. But another great Larry June and Alchemist production. Also, 2 Chainz comes along and just compliments everybody. I got both the is it Life is Beautiful? No, this is Life is Beautiful. I forgot what the other Alchemist and Larry June project was called, but I have both of them now, and I'm really glad. And I really like how it comes in a gatefold sleeve, and it feels like a mini record. And I love the packaging. I love the different artwork for it, and it's such a cool record. A really amazing record that came out in the beginning of this year that really showed us that, hey, this year hip hop's gonna be a great fucking year. But yeah, that's all the CDs I gotta show you. I think it was 21 CDs this time. 21. I'm looking over here to make sure that I'm still live. I should have done it the whole time, because that shit actually made me sick. So that's why I had to like speed up the process of this episode. I don't know how long it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be the average length. I feel like I sped through this episode. I don't know. I'm talking like a mile a minute, and I'm sorry. I know this one is kind of a confusing episode. I don't know. I don't know. But with all that being said, I hope y'all enjoy this episode. I hope y'all get into some new artists after I showed you all these CDs. And like I said, I love showing y'all my music and cataloging it. And then we'll see You know, like I said, I already got some new records I can see behind me. So that next record update's coming sooner than you think, and we'll see. And also, even before this, that I got recently. So this CD update's gonna come sooner. Like I told you, I've been collecting more records this year. I've been collecting more CDs this year because probably I've been getting more money and whatnot. But yeah, this is what happens as soon as I take my headphones off, my microphone starts glitching. So whatever. This is the end of the episode. You're free to go. Peace.
How do you build me when I was all ruined? How you soaked me with compliments really helped out. Boasted all confidence in my self-doubt. Was dying for my thirst, you was clearly a well. It eventually made me empty, I was merely a shell. None observed, was on the verge of cracking. Till you said I had a gift.